That's really close. That's it. Hopefully I can get this on here before it runs all over the place. Okay, I need a couple of clamps, hold it in place. So after a little bit of trimming, open these dados up a little bit and trimmed a little bit off the top. The bottoms will have to be trimmed too on the other piece, but that's lining up. It's lining up pretty good there. And then this side here is lining up good. Just got to try to get it as tight as I can. Which surface? Oh, they're both real nice, which is good. So when the lid's open, you'll see it. I'm leaving it thick right now. It's around 1 inch thick. So I haven't decided if I might want to rabbet it into the box, so when it closes, there'll be a little a rabbet that it sits down into. I think that would be kind of nice. Set the XY first. I can zero all macro 2. That zeroed them all. But you got to do an initial auto zero because I'm going to be using 2 different bits. So get that going. I'm going to leave the dust shoe off again so I can see it. I programmed it to just do the outer profile. This is all flat through here, but the bevel, there's a bevel that runs around the edges. So I drew a square and then the outer perimeter. So it's just going to do the 3D in that area and save a bunch of travel time back and forth. Let's see how that works out. It should be pretty good. That's waiting for me to change the bit, which I'm not changing the bit. I already have it in here, but it doesn't know that. Should go down to about 1 inch above the surface. Start up the spindle and then move to the perimeter. Once this starts cutting, I'm going to turn the mic off. Okay, well, my little knobs finally came, and I'm disappointed. I bought the more expensive ones because the cheap ones were, I don't know, $5 or something or maybe they were $10 for half a dozen of them. These were like $14 for two. I like the profile a little better than the other ones, but you probably can't make this out. Let me see. See if I can get this close enough. But the finish is terrible on them. They weren't even wrapped. They were put in a plastic bag where they bounced against each other. In this plastic bag, along with the screws, which machine thread on one side, wood thread on the other, which I'm probably not going to use. I'd rather the screws go right through. And I wanted two because I wanted to do something like this instead of one in the middle. I don't know, for some reason looks like a cyclops. And I'm thinking that if this was divided, this length was divided in 4, so that's 14, so 7, 3.5, so I'm thinking 3.5 in on each side, straight down from there. Let's see where that puts it. See if I can measure that. Okay, I should be able to hold it right there. I guess I can hook on right here. It's pretty much the same. Yeah, I think that's a lot better than just one in the middle. Functions better, and I think it looks better. I wish they were a little bit smaller, though. I'm seriously thinking about cutting them down. Just cut that. I like that base, but I think if they didn't protrude quite as much, it'd look better. I don't like them. The handles are too big. I'm going to go ahead and cut them down. I think I'll be able to hold them this way with a screw and a nut. Hopefully be able to chuck that up and just take light cuts. And I want to just take this bottom base off of it. See how it works out. Okay, I think it's ready. See how bad that chuck is. Should be clear right now. Yeah, that's a wild one. Pretty bad. I gotta try to get that better. I don't want to go through all the trouble of dialing it in. Not for a stupid little knob. That's not half bad there. It's not bad, just gotta deburr the edge, front edge a little bit. See if I can get that other one on there now. I'm gonna knock that little piece off. cut into the thread, so might be a little hard to get that off. You can see the before and after. This really looks like the cheap ones now that I could have got half a dozen of them for 10 bucks. Figures. They looked a little smaller. It said 1/2 inch too, and the base is what's 1/2 inch. The upper part is 5/8. That's it. Let me get a little tiny file. Almost like to polish that while I have it on there. I don't care about the coating. Let's see, I can move this out of the way. Turn you guys back into view. And what do I have? I'll try a little polishing compound and just a rag. Oh yeah, that made a huge difference. Yeah, quite a difference. Oh, she don't want to come off though. There it goes. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like that a lot better. Put this other one on, file it, polish it, call them done. Thought I had a couple of these little files. Polished up so much they're slippery. Yep. Now that base fits against that angled lumber a lot better. You'll be able to cut right into it a little bit. Oh, yeah, I like that a lot more. And that snugs up and pressed in the wood. It's gonna finish off nicely. Okay. Put this back in, I guess, for now. Sanding and finishing is going to take a while. Alright, I have some sanding to do. I got some 150 and some 220. Probably won't have to go much past 220 until I get into using the lacquer. Pretty sure that's what I'm going to do too, satin lacquer. I haven't decided on how dark I'm going to go. I actually thought about leaving it natural. I don't know. We'll see how it sands up. I'm not going to bore you with the sanding. I'm going to break it all down. Take the hinges back off. Take the knobs back off. Take the dividers out. And these hinges, pop these off. Just need some detailing. Yep, this is going to be a long, tedious process, so I'm not even going to bore you with it. I'll come back when I'm pretty much done. Well, that was a couple hours of sanding. I didn't really think it would be that much, but it was. It was a lot of sanding. And where you have this sweeping areas everywhere, you're actually sanding part of the end grain because you're cutting into the face of the lumber. I had a lot of sanding here on all these surfaces. If I had to do it again, I would probably break this up, do the high detail with a small router bit on the legs, you know, just create some boundaries to do the high detail there, do a roughing pass here, and then do a fine step over with maybe a core box bit, like a half rounded bit, bowl bit, core box bit, called a couple different names, with a small step over so you don't wind up with faceting, where like back here you can still see remnants of it. A lot of sanding that took to get that out. And if you think of like a circle made up of dashes, each area where the dash stops, whether it be sweep on the inside or sweep on the outside, you have a crest or a line, and it takes a lot to sand those out. So part of that is my fault for not turbo smoothing the model and making it a little more complicated with all the geometry. I learned my lesson there, so next time I'm going to make sure that my model is like extremely smooth to cut down on the sanding, and then take steps with the CNC to, even if it takes twice as long, it would save on the hand cramps from sanding. This is my favorite stain here, Jacobine. I love this finish on a lot of different woods. I like the dark finishes. I do like clear maple too, but I like the dark traditional finishes, rich finishes. So after going back and forth on this, I decided I'm going to stain it dark. I thought I might just go natural, but this will look really red. I think if I went natural, just put the clear coat on here, it'll get pretty amber. So I like the amber undertones, but I like the base color to be dark. So hopefully I can achieve that with this. We'll see. Yeah, amazing that looks like one piece. And it's 3 or almost 4 pieces actually. Yeah, I can't tell where there's a seam. Okay, I have to get a little bit messy here.